What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great day. It's Thirsty Thursday, and I'm out and about as usual, running to the dump, getting rid of some trash. So, you know, everybody's on the Amari Cooper bandwagon. And I'm not so sure about this one. I'm not so sure because I feel like this is us bringing in a Brandon Cooks, an aging veteran that's, that's got a lot of miles on it. And I'm not sure. It could be a bargain. Because here's one of the problems. I don't know if anybody else has touched on this or not, but here's one of the problems that you could have with Amari Cooper, okay? You know, when you've had stuff that has just been so bad, okay? And this is the analogy I've talked about. When you find out your car needs $2,000 worth of work on it just to get it back on the road, but that's not all of the problems. You know you're going to have more problems happening, and so now you got to go out and buy another car because you're desperate and don't want to be taking the metro or the bus or having to walk or Uber and things. You're out there trying to buy a car, and because you're in a bad situation, you might overpay for a car. You may end up buying something that's, just to get you through, that's a piece of crap. You're not able to make a great decision. Things that normally you would be like, let me take it to my mechanic and get him to check it out and see, is this, or looking up to see, is this year's car, that model, does it have problems that are around the corner? Does, at 80,000 miles, the transmission literally falls out of it and it's got 78,000 miles on the car I'm buying. And you end up putting yourself in a situation that's no better than what you had, because now you overpaid for something that you thought would be a solution, and it turns out it blows up in your face. And see, we've wasted so much time. We've wasted 3 years. 3 years. Okay? 3 years. By messing up and getting rid of Amari Cooper. Well, is bringing him back now with 3 more years of age on his body the smart move now? Because had you kept him for 3 years, more than likely you'd be saying, we need to get somebody younger. You know that, right? We'd be looking at that and saying, he's getting older, he's wearing down, we need somebody younger, right? Now, because Tyler Lockett, there's not a lot of veteran wide receivers out there. We can definitely say that right now. The big names that you know, Keenan Allen, another aged wide receiver, and Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper coming off a 550-yard season. There's not a lot of choices out there, right? And Tyler Lockett was one of those. And Tyler Lockett only gets a $4 million deal. Okay. So immediately what people say is, well, the market's dirt cheap, man. That means, Amari Cooper, who's had Sports Track has his market value at $17 million, who saw Cooper Kupp get $15 million coming off of 3 injured seasons, right? You believe that you're going to pay Amari Cooper, because the market's dried up, $4 or $5 million, and think that he's going to be happy with that? That he's not going to look and say, hold up, I take a hit just as good as Amari Cooper, as CeeDee Lamb. But CeeDee Lamb's going to get $30 million more than me? That literally, I came back here because of the bullsh that we had before. And now I'm only going to get $4 or $5 million a year? You think that that's setting that up for Amari Cooper saying, great, let's be a great teammate, let's go all in, and let's have a 1,000-yard season? You remember, right? Or did you forget? Did you forget that sometimes Amari didn't like to practice? Did you forget that Amari Cooper, when he was recovering from his plantar fasciitis, that it literally was like, this was the same time that Dak Prescott was recovering from the ankle being completely broken off. I believe it took Amari Cooper longer for his plantar fasciitis to start practicing than Dak did, who completely severed his ankle. You get that, right? Did you forget that? Did you forget that? Did you forget when COVID was going on and he didn't want to take the shot? He's on the front row at a basketball game, basically kind of saying F you to the Cowboys, COVID, and this, that, and the other. This is before we knew if you would be able to pass it on to the whole team or things, right? You remember that, right? Okay. You forgot that. Okay. This is one of those ones that we're putting all these eggs in that basket. And by all means, maybe this is the best move here. But what I see is this Brandon Cooks the first year that we had him? You remember CeeDee Lamb had 1,700 yards. Brandon Cooks only had 600 something. Why not? Why not? Instead of us continuing to spend draft picks on the Jalen Tolberts, on the trading for the Jonathan Mingos and things, bringing in the James Washingtons. Y'all forgot about that one too. The James Washingtons and thinking that Brandon Cooks will be the answer because he's an old guy. People, you need legitimately a young guy. You're not going to have to worry about so much getting an injury, because you got to worry about that with Amari Cooper. He's at the point where he breaks down on a regular. You need to go ahead and be legitimate here. You can't penny pinch on this. You have got to get some weapons. You've got to. And I hope and I pray that they do, but I feel like, you know what? We're going to set Dak up for failure again. Because that's what we do. Over and over and over again. We set him up for failure, and we'll say, well, Dak just sucks. Sorry. As I look at our receiving core, other than CeeDee Lamb since Amari Cooper left, I'm not looking at an incredible group of guys. I'm not looking at an incredible group of wide receivers. From Michael Gallup being on one leg to Noah Brown, a.k.a. Clifford Franklin, Jalen Tolbert, Jalen Brooks, and all of those other ones. They're nice stories. They're nice players. But those aren't what you need. You need to go legit. Peace out.